In the Resident Evil games, you die a lot. So much that you start getting used to it.
Already broke.
But what if instead of restarting at the checkpoint, you restart all the way back to Resident Evil 1? The combination of these games in a deathless run was a recipe for making mustard gas in your own bathroom. Now, me being the mentally ill horror game expert that I am, I took this warning with a grain of salt. So watch me as I attempt to beat every Resident Evil game without dying once.
Homies and Homets, we have hit the big number of 16,000 subscribers. Genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now, let's see if we can get to 100K by tomorrow.
Starting us off in the depths of Resident Evil 1, we are greeted with things like puzzles, jank camera angles, and dogs.
You digging in?
Officially entering the castle, we investigate only to find a zombie. Me being me, I run back to my friend and make him do all the dirty work. After that, we have to report back to the boss, only to find out that he is in fact missing. I'm done searching. I'm not looking any longer. After a pathetic search, we make our way to the underground area, where we have to find 4 masks that are hidden within the mansion. Now, whenever I was searching for the masks, this happened. Is that dude? Oh. Die! Die! No! Are you kidding me? This used up one of my daggers, and since we can't die, I need every dagger I can get. Eventually, we find a shotgun to help us with this challenge. Hey, still got it. After retrieving the first mask, we run into a fellow comrade, one who has seemed to be attacked by Resident Evil herself. Now, since Jill is a decent person, she goes and gets some medicine to the man. This only leads us to a boss fight. And in the boss fight, we are granted help by the man that we just cured.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go grab this mask.
Dang it, bro, shoot him! I didn't hear you for nothing, bro. Eventually, this man throws his life away for Jill, like any regular man would, allowing us to leave safely.
Oh, am I poisoned?
Oh, it's because I got hit. No.
Now, at the time, I didn't know if you got hit by the snake, it means you get poisoned. So now, we are at a constant draining health bar until we cure it. Going back down to the cave, we place all 4 masks, which unlock a coffin that is about as old as the people in charge, which means it's boss fight time, baby. Bam! Did you get downed in 1? Oh, no. Is he dead? I think he's dead. Let's go. We go outside to unlock a magnum from the grave, and after that, we of course get attacked by a bird, which sends us into crippling health status since we are still poisoned. We make our way inside of a cabin where we need items from the bathroom, and this happens. Turn around. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I was still poisoned. I forgot. No.
For starting the game, I knew I had to catch up quick. I collected all 4 masks, defeated the boss, and got up to date pretty fast. After realizing that we have a traitor in the building with us, we have to go through a series of challenges. Timed events, sharks, crafting potions like we're Walter White.
Someone cooked here.
Now, I passed through all these challenges pretty darn easily, sending us to the end of the game, where we have to fight a pathetic excuse for a Nemesis Part 2. We easily defeated it, marking Resident Evil 1 beaten. However, this does not save us from having to go back into this game later on. Jumping straight into RE2, I knew I was a little bit cocky, which could either get me killed or get me through this nightmare at the same time. Starting us off as Claire simply because I know her story better, and I like looking at her.
Out of pocket for that shit.
We spawn in, zooming our motorcycle, and arrive at the gas station. Ah, nice weather, no?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm gone. Literally anyone in this situation's leaving. All right, let's put our big boy pants on. After discovering zombies were in fact not a fragment of my imagination, we run out of the gas station and drive away with Polygon Leon. This leads us to Crash, leaving us stranded inside of a affected city. After making it to the shelter, we are greeted with our first objective in the game: find 3 medallions to escape the RPD. But before we do that, we need to attempt to help this police officer. I feel like every single video I have to say, there goes my AdSense. Literally. You ever just... Okay, I just literally juked that freaking guy out, bro. Get you. After barely escaping, we get saved by a man named Marvin, a very much dying cop. He gives us a knife that we can use to unlock the other side of the RPD. We make our way outside to get bolt cutters and to unlock all the doors, but we get interrupted by Leon S. Kennedy. After our little chat, we unlock the door and get the fuse, and unlock even more doors with the newly obtained bolt cutters. This leads us to a locker area where we can obtain the grenade launcher. Okay, Now time to get the 2 medallions. One can be found by the library, where we need to blow up the wall with a C4 and battery. Another one can be found in the room directly under that one. And the last one is found in a literal middle of the lobby. After unlocking the secret door that leads to eternal suffering, we get a very sad cutscene. Marvin! No! This room leads us straight to Sherry, and Sherry says that she sees monsters, and now we have to fight one. This boss is extremely easy. This fight, it's literally light work. Okay, you can stop chasing me now. Bro, stop! Hey! Hitless! Hitless, hitless. After completing the boss hitless like an absolute Chad, we are greeted with a very interesting man. He pulls a gun on us and takes away Sherry, my Shayla. 14 kids of Red Bull busting through my veins. I knew I needed to get Sherry back, and to do so, we need this key card. We go to the morgue, juke out some liquors, and get the key to the elevator. Up on this elevator, we get to another part of the RPD, one that has a very familiar face. Oh, who gonna clean this mess up? Like, it's not even that bad. It's just the fact that, like, he's right on me all the time. Now we will be constantly chased by Mr. X until he meets his inevitable death. After collecting both cubes to unlock the gate with the key card, we are greeted with a Sherry segment. Now this part was, interesting. I was weirdly scared that I was going to forget something or go the wrong way and absolutely throw away the run from here, but thankfully I didn't. This led us to victory while spilling acid on the old man's face, which takes us all the way back to Claire. Now that we have the key card, we are able to unlock the gate and head for Sherry. Bam, 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 bam. Too easy, mate. Too easy, mate. Honestly, this kind of looks like a Poppy Playtime area. I legitimately think after last challenge, Poppy Playtime is glued into my brain. After meeting back up with Sherry, we get to a Mr. X chase scene.
Claire! It's Don't stop!
No, it's not, bro. I just looked back. Eventually, we get to the elevator, and Mr. X gets torn up by the previous boss fights. Sherry gets taken from us by her so-called mother, and we now enter the sewer, possibly the most riskiest part of the game. We need to collect chess pieces to get to a certain room. To get to that room, we need to unlock levers, burn zombies, and make it through a pole of monsters. I feel like this is gonna hit me. Oh, please, please. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, I hate that part. I actually hate that part. After collecting the spark shot and the chess pieces, we make it back and completely guess this puzzle because I didn't feel like looking it up again. After unlocking the door, we get greeted to the second phase of Dr. Something. I forgot his name. This pool mainly has a crane that kills the monster. However, it also has a health pool that can be drained. So we shred it up for the first few minutes. Then we press the crane in order to make it only one crane push, which saves us a lot of risk of dying. We pick up Sherry and make it to the final area of the game. The lab. This part wasn't that bad. We just need to keep on upgrading the tube to kill all the plant life inside of the surrounding area, then get the final wristband. After the wristband, we are forced to enter the next boss. However, I was prepared. Look, you see, throughout the entire game, I've been gathering acid rounds, and a ton of them. So much that we made this boss fight a pretty much spam boss fight. We cure Sherry since she is infected with Asmongold rune disease. Then we head for the final boss on a timer. First, we need to push Sherry on the train cart. Then we grab the absolute dog of a machine gun and start the fight. I pretty much wasn't too nervous. No! If I actually die here, I'm ending. I'm being so for real. This video has never seen the light of day if I die here. Just like the acid rounds, I was also collecting grenades, which helped us a ton in this boss fight. Everybody, we have beaten RE2 completely deathless. Moving on to RE3. Spawning into RE3, I was a little bit scared. This game has a lot of action, and that's not very good for this challenge. Anyways, we kick things off with Nemesis busting down our own wall. After escaping this red terror, we run into our friend. He guides us a little further, that is, until he dies. Red! No! We escape the building, which leads us to a dead corpse with a gun. After retrieving a weapon, our goal is to get to the rooftops where the helicopter is waiting for us. Unfortunately for us, this helicopter explodes into a billion pieces, leaving me and Jill very terrified. So we decided to drive like an average US citizen and slam on the gas right into the next moving thing that we see. Nemesis walks us down, and Carlos builds up the courage to shoot a shot to save Jill. Jill and Carlos talk for a bit, which leads us to learn that we need to get this train moving in order to escape this awful place. So we do just that. Oh, let me check my... What? Did it give me an AR? Is that... Is that what happens whenever you press on easy mode? To turn on the power on the train station, we need to reach the control panel. However, it's out of electricity. So to turn on that, we have to pick up a fire hose and put out all the flames in this alleyway. After that, we trigger a cutscene and find a very savable man. And,
No, wait, please!
What the f?
That's the main bad guy for this game. We just don't know it yet. This room leads us to, in my words, and I quote, Deep Throat Central. Besides being a hive for OF models, it conveniently leads us to the electric power for the panel. I'm not going to lie, I almost died a couple of times here. Turning on the power for the train station, Carlos tells us to meet us back at the train station. But just when we thought we were safe, Nemesis shows up, and Jill, not knowing that we were doing a deathless run, she sacrifices herself for Carlos. Now, I was gonna do the grenade strat, but I decided not to because of the risk. And thankfully, this went well. And we now enter the sewer, and much like RE2, there's monsters down here. Thankfully, this didn't last long. And on our way up, we get our head grabbed by Nemesis himself, forcing us into a boss fight on the top of a roof. For this fight, we just have to shoot his tank until it explodes, and then once it does explode, we light him up and avoid getting hit. Let's go! She is not actually good at jump. Okay. This leads us straight into another encounter with Nemesis because we obviously didn't kill him the first time. So now we have to carefully run from his laser grenade launcher, and we eventually run into Carlos. He leads us back to the train station and we escape with the train. However, Carlos does say he can't join us because of orders, which is actually a good thing because the train crashes like the stock market back in 1930. This sends us playing as Carlos because Jill is supposedly dead, and we also get to play in the RPD. Our goal is to do, something. I can't remember. After this RPD segment, we get all the way back to Jill to have a round 2 with Nemesis. Thankfully, we can obviously use the mine rounds to stop him in his tracks and completely throw him off guard and load him up with bullets. Usually this part would be kind of hard, but with the mine rounds, it really wasn't too bad. After this boss fight, Jill lets her guard down for 1 second and Mr. Badman shoots us with the not so good serum, forcing us to play as Carlos once again. Our new goal is to save Jill and get a cure for her. Making it through the lab, we have to shoot every zombie and make sure that they're dead. I do this simply because I am not trying to get grabbed and die this late inside of the game. I literally knifed him! How is he still alive? I didn't only light him up with like 15 bullets to the head, I also made sure he was dead and he still got up. He still got up. And now we find the serum and kill Jill. As she is getting cured, we have to run the gauntlet, which is surprisingly really easy. Because on easy mode, they like... I don't know how to explain it. It's really easy. After this segment, we move right back to Jill. We make our way down to the lab and meet up with one of Carlos's friends. He doesn't make it that far. No! Get him, Jill! More deaths later, and we have to crawl away from Nemesis as he blows up. Eventually, we have to go and get a ton of random items. I don't really know. Anyways, back to the interesting stuff. We have to fight phase 3 of Nemesis. He runs around this big electric thing, and we have to shoot him down and deal a certain amount of damage. That is until Carlos blows him up into what he calls straight up goo, which leads us to the final boss, which is phase 4 of Nemesis, where he definitely looks like, in fact, goo. This boss is really, really, really easy. I cannot stress enough. It is super easy with the mega laser, but the only catch is that we have to power it up every single time. Jill, what are you doing? No! 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 At the very end of Resident Evil 3, I died to such a stupid occurrence. This sends us all the way back to Resident Evil 1. I'm so tired of playing this game. This is my 3rd playthrough. Yeah, get me out of here. It's just not cool when you know the twists. You feel me? Eventually, we make it to the final boss and beat the game once again, leading us to RE2, where I, actually didn't have that bad of a time. I kind of just vibed, which of course brought us right back to Resident Evil 3. Okay, we're back again. Let's try this again. Stick it in! Pause. Wait. Pause. Pause on that. Please pause on that. Don't clip that. No one. Okay. Officially beating the final boss, all we have left to do is watch Carlos do some MMA and almost shoot him. After that, we escape from Raccoon City, which means the end of RE3. Moving on to RE4 Remake. Opening the game, we get a cutscene that I skip because, you know I mean business. You guys want to know something funny? I just recorded the middle part, which is right now, and the outro, and it stopped recording. Like, what? It's on phone. How in the... I guarantee you a ghost pressed the power. Pretty much with the Instagram thing, I was just saying about how we're almost at 1,000 followers, and you should join in before it's 1,000. And if you're seeing this while it's over 1,000, still please join in. Ask any of my followers on Instagram, bro. I talk with them. I literally, if you text me, I'm responding the same day. Maybe a week later, our cop friend decides to take a piss in the area with high amounts of missing people. Us playing as Leon S. Kennedy, the absolute brute of Resident Evil, we knew we had to do something about it. Arriving at the village, we are greeted with a village area, which isn't too bad. I just made sure to run around and definitely not get stuck. Move, Leon! After the time section, we get the best one-liner in all of video game history.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Us now knowing that the cop is definitely not alive, we start our main objective, which is to find the president's daughter. We search the village for supplies because this game uses a lot of them in pretty much every single freaking area it throws at us. So after shooting the lock to the lake house, we are greeted with a underground passage. One that leads to Luis, not Lewis. I'm correcting myself. We also end up getting bodied because Leon does not know a thing about sound cues. We wake up chained together, a popular video game that took whoa. Whoa, that just came out of nowhere. I got off track there. Me and Luis escaped this madness, and shortly after, we split up. Eventually, we run into another chainsaw man. I decided to run past him because I didn't really feel like risking my life, and oh my gosh, did I just get stuck in a We make it to a house that seems peaceful. In the upper room, we find a key, but also the big man finds us. Our wifey saves us from this madman. Leon has officially been infected. Us still searching for the daughter, we stumble upon a boat, which unfortunately leads us to a boss fight. This was really easy. On our way to the church where Ashley is, we run into this thing. For this boss fight, I hid in the house and reloaded, as well as making sure to only do damage to his centipede type heart. Eventually, a dog comes to save us. Oh, thank God. Not gonna lie, this monster's kicking my ass. Whew. That was something. That was something for sure. We enter the church and connect with Ashley. Our new goal is to help Ashley escape. If I had a sub for every time I simped for Ashley, bro, I think I would be at around like 1.248 million. Something like that. We escape the crowd of enemies just to run into another one. Eventually, we run into Luis, where we need to play COD Zombies for just a little while. This part was super annoying. Also, I'm pretty sure my heart rate was sitting like way higher than what it was supposed to be this entire time. But we did escape with the help of our two new friends. For this next part, I need to play it very safe, because I'm not kidding you, I've died every single time I've done this part. The hard thing about this game is the simple areas in between important areas. These areas are just stuffed with enemies, and having Ashley by your side makes it all the much harder because she doesn't know how to freaking move. But since I was extremely careful, we did make it past this part without dying. Thank God. This unfortunately only led us to a boss fight with a burning big bad guy. After that, we jumped out of a burning building. Now, welcome to the castle. We have to get through catapults and tons of people. In the main part of the castle, we meet the grandma / old boy. He says that he wants Ashley for himself. Me being a certified lover, debasely, I declined. He didn't like that, so I had to kill all of his goons. Time to talk about a very weird segment. Blind monster thing. This was interesting. And if I was one shot like pretty much all the other difficulties, I would have died because I did get hit. But thankfully, we passed this part. Ashley gets taken from us and we are forced to not only live without Ashley, but also fight for our own life in these areas. One is a bug arena and the other is a blind arena. Both are not fun at all. My main strategy for especially this game amongst most of the other games is to take it slow. That is something that I am not used to doing in these kind of games. But if I have my mind at ease and I just focus on shooting the right shots, running away, and not getting too freaking greedy, we can do this challenge. After killing the grandma, we make it further underground. Then we stumble upon a white creature lurking in the hallways of death. We need to wait for the slow elevator to move to our location. And while we do so, we are also being chased by the madman that crawls through vents and jump scares us. Is he still? Dang! Frick, bro. This dude does not chill out. Now, we need to make it to the island where Ashley's being held. Ada gives us a ride on her boat as she confesses her love to us. Honestly, this island part is usually a pain, but I think I'm maturing because this was easy as something. I don't know. It was very easy. Eventually, we get a hold of Ashley and we cure her and myself because 2 seconds ago, we were tweaking out just like Jesse and Jane were in Breaking Bad. This only led us to the final boss of the game. After buying cosmetics like I was on Fortnite to make sure that we didn't die at the very last second of the game, we spam him like crazy. Then Ada 1 gives us a rocket launcher for good measure, and we shove that rocket launcher so far up. You get what I'm trying to say. Me and Ashley and Ada all escape, leaving RE4 beaten without any deaths. Moving on to RE5. Starting us off on RE5 as Chris, our main goal is to find someone and do something. I really don't like this game. We make our way through another village, much like RE4, and get introduced to things like ammo drops and how this game is actually played. With me decently used to the controls, we make our way to the first big part of the game. It's a timed event, and me and Shiva have to run around the area and wait for our friend to get there. After that, we make it to a bridge. Across this bridge is yet another big segment, Chainsaw Man segment. We have to beat this guy with unlimited enemies spawning around us. Obviously, I use the exploding tanks around us for advantage, and I make sure to not get too close because I'm pretty sure you're a one-shot in this game. However, all things considered, this part wasn't too bad. The Chainsaw Man just has way too much health. Skipping through some of the annoying parts because, like I said, I don't like this game. We're now in a river where we have to have one of us get the lever for this bridge, while the other one crosses the bridge, then unlocks the locked door for the other person to go through. This game is very much player on player freaking dependent. I speedrun this part and thankfully made it through pretty fast. In this new section, we need to disarm these lasers while dodging Chainsaw Men the entire time.
Oh shoot, he just jumped up the ladder on me. There we go, finally. That's why I hate this freaking game, bro. Like, why did it take that long to kill him?
We meet up with one of our old friends and he tells us he can get us out of here. However, he needs time. This whole part was chaos. We somehow need to defend this guy with just a ton of enemies spawning all around us. It's really annoying. Once that's finally done, you'll never guess what's next. The exact same thing, just on another floor. I don't like it, because I don't like this game. We get on a mini boat that leads to a big boat, and then we have our first boss fight. This wasn't really that bad, especially since it gives us harpoon explosives and machine guns, and when the villain is done, he puts a 5-star curse on Chris, and then disintegrates into thin air. Welcome to the Underground Temple segment thing, where we need to do puzzles and find annoying medallions. For this atrocity, I'm gonna skip a lot in this game because I don't like it and I don't want to edit it. I'm sorry. We fight the final boss and then say bye-bye to RE5. If I have to play this game, I might delay this challenge for another 3 weeks. I'm not lying. If I have to play this game again, I will.
Resident Evil 6.
So for this game, I decided to play as Sherry and Jake's story because I haven't played it. Now, call me dumb, but I did watch some of the hardest parts beforehand, so I knew like what parts to like study before I actually played. So with that being said, let's jump into it. This game starts us off in the snow. Jake's entire crew takes a 30 and tweaks out, but Jake, however, didn't get infected. So Sherry pretty much tells him that he's special and that she needs him for a cure. After moving forward for a while, we get introduced to this game's Mr. X.
Thanks for the warning.
Oh, what the heck? That's a brute. Run, Sherry! Trying to escape this madman, we run into a dead end, sending us into a mini-boss fight, where we have to shoot a ton of red barrels to slow this dude down. Eventually, we run into Chris and his team, but that all gets interrupted by these guys. We have an entire section in a town to fight these guys, and it is awesome. Their weak spots are on their big back, but the second one appears with armor on his big back. So to get it off, we have to jump on his back, pause, and pull it off. Pause. Then we can finally beat him. Chris takes us on a plane out of here. However, the Mr. X is still not dead. He somehow finds us and crashes the plane after a long plane fight. We land in a relatively large snow area. Now, we need to find important items that were scattered across this place by the plane explosion. It's a rough time. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. The mixture of never-ending enemies and not being able to see, really, is a very hard mixture. After that, we camp out in a cabin for a while where Sherry tells Jake that he's really important because this human-inflicted disease is going to spread worldwide if we don't stop it. But then we get interrupted by more people, so it's COD zombie time. Y'all act like I didn't grow up playing BO2, bro. Sure, I was scared, you know, I would probably cry myself to sleep, low-key, but like, I still grew up playing it, you feel me? After this segment, we need to retreat on skis, or whatever you call these, I really forgot. Which is surprisingly kind of hard. I really made sure not to die on this part because I've seen how easy it is to die. Like, it's really easy. After a large stealth segment, Ada Wong captures us, and we wake up in a lab where we need to escape from all these bad guys. For us to escape this certain area, we need to watch a goon unlock the door, but we have to make sure that we don't get caught, and the only reason that we have to do this is because the code is literally randomized every single playthrough. Sherry and Jake have a really awkward conversation.
Jake!
After the locker room scene, we make it to a casino where we need to find 10 poker chips that are hidden within the entire place. The hardest one was probably right under the water fountain. I don't know why, but it took me like way too long. Eventually, we open up the door, but we get interrupted by a tank. We have to escape via a motorcycle, which literally throws us into an entire motorcycle segment, which is extremely easy if you're playing on Siri. You barely have to shoot anyone. Welcome to China, where we need to fight creatures that are highly resistible to our ammo. This entire place is literally insane. It's just battle on battle on battle. And I'm on the easiest game mode, and I still felt like there wasn't enough ammo. After running through some dark alleyways, we run into Leon, which is very wholesome. We have to fight the Mr. X for the entire time, which is made dope because, of course, of Leon. After fixing up a car, we crash it into a big tower, and then that crashes into the big monster, killing him. For now. After Leon and I go our separate ways, we move underground and fight a giant boss, which leads us to the final boss with the big bad villain in a area that literally looks like it's from episode 3 of Star Wars. I didn't really know what to do with this part, and you can't pause the game. It's not like I could really look it up, so I kind of just stood there while Jake was fighting and really hoped that the AI did the work for me. And guess what? It actually did. We shoot one final shot to officially kill this thing, and the credits roll.
Resident Evil 7.
Jumping straight into RE7, we are now playing as Ethan Winters. Our objective for now is to find our wife, Mia, who is stuck inside of this house and under the control of Evelyn. So she is possessed is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, we need to make our way inside of the house and find a tape that records a bunch of Sam and Colby wannabes get slammed. Back in real life time, we make our way to the basement where we find our wife. There seems to be something off. She later attacks us multiple times, leading Ethan to have several injuries. Now we have to fight our very own wife, so we find a gun and shoot her till she stops moving. Afterwards, the father of the house punches us and knocks us out. We wake up tied to a chair where they force feed us an average British meal. But just whenever things are about to get wild, the father stops and leaves us because a cop is calling them. When we escape, we have to make it under this hatch, and for whatever reason, it took me very long. Boy. Ain't no way. I'm on to you. Oh my. Please, please. Finally. Eventually, we make it out and run into a cop and ask him for his gun because we were obviously kidnapped. And he gives us a pocket knife. Can you blame him? Meeting up with the cop, his head gets, obliterated. Anyways, it's boss fight time. Me being me and not wanting to die, I hopped inside of the car and started running the dude over till he stopped moving. Going back to the main house, our goal is to find 3 dog eggs and unlock the main door. To find all 3 of these, we need to go through a series of challenges, like going downstairs, facing our greatest fears, getting jumped, and unlocking certain doors. We now get to go outside and into the RV. We now get a phone call from Zoe, the daughter of the you know what I'm trying to say. And we now have a new objective, which is to make a cure for Mia and Zoe. However, to do so, we need 2 very important items. On our way to the first item inside of the lake house, we get interrupted by a ton of bugs, and even worse, the mother. We have a boss fight with her, and it is horrible. I just made sure not to stop moving and aim for only her weak spots because you can waste so much ammo here. Take that, you little bitch! This grants us the first ingredient of the cure. Now we need to go back into the main house and unlock a ton of doors in order to get keycard blue and keycard red. This unlocks the gate outside, which leads us to inside of the brothers area of the game, where he stupidly reveals he is carrying, in fact, the last piece of the cure. We have to go through a ton of mines and kill a ton of bloaters straight from The Last of Us. After all of that is done, we have to do a candle puzzle where I assume has taken place inside of the house of balloons, if you know what I mean. Afterwards, he explodes the cake and fails to kill us, so he then drops dynamite. Then we use that dynamite to explode the wall and get our last ingredient and escape. We meet up with Zoe and we make the cure. But we get interrupted by the dad for one final fight. For this fight, it actually took me a while. For whatever reason, I really don't know. I wish I could tell you. I just made sure to aim for pretty much only his eyes because I'm kind of speedrunning all these games, so I'm not like stocking up at all. And I made sure to also block whenever it was needed because this guy does a lot of damage. Trust me. Back to Zoe, we get interrupted again. So Zoe, knowing that this guy is not going down too easily, she gives us one of the cures to finish him off. Now there's only one cure left, and we have to choose between Mia and Zoe. Huh. Easy. There was just one comment that was like, how dare you choose Mia? What are you talking about? Choosing Mia means we have to have a boat segment where we get lore dumped with Evelyn. Eventually, waking back up as Ethan, we get the final boss, which is literally nothing. Then we end the game with 0 deaths, of course, and a big smile on my face. Oh my gosh. If we die in this game,
I don't know what I'm gonna do. So entering the final game, I knew if I died here, I would probably hate myself forever. Our wife Mia reads us a scary story before we put our baby down for bed. As we're eating supper, Mia gets obliterated by a ton of machine guns through the window. Not only that, but Chris also kidnaps me and my baby, leading us to crash in the middle of literally a big freaking village infested with freaking goth vampire bombies and werewolves and 3 hot sisters. That's enough, Corey. That's enough. You can stop. This village has many problems with it, but the first one is a timed segment. I'm no baby to this part, so I made sure to lock in and use all my old strats from the other videos. People don't understand the ladder strategy, and I'm not gonna make you understand it either. Eventually, we run out of there and unlock 2 medallions in order to open up the main castle. The first one is found in the church. For the second one, we meet up with the daughter and her father who need help. After helping them, the father crashes out and we have to escape with the daughter. Now, this being Resident Evil, I'm sure you can guess what happens next.
Ethan, go!
No!
daughter.
No! I'm actually like not okay. I'm on like hour 6 of playing Resident. I'm not okay. After retrieving the second medallion, we go into a castle and once again get kidnapped, but by a different family this time. I don't find this funny, guys. Okay, stop fighting over me. I get it. Okay, I get it. But chill. This led us to a goose chase, and after that, we are finally able to have a warm welcome to the castle. Oh, this is my favorite part. Here she comes. Yes. Yes.
Man blood.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Lady D and her 3 fine daughters hung me up and drank my blood. Eventually, they all leave, leaving Ethan with only one option: unhook himself in the most painful way possible. After that, we've roamed the castle and noticed that we need to find 3 masks in order to open up the main door. On our way to get the first one, we have to go down to the cellars and fight the first boss. Oh my gosh! Why was that so fast? Is this what easy mode's like? Well, it ain't. After that, we grab the wine bottle and unlock the hidden door, which leads us to get the courtyard key. On our way to the courtyard, we get jumped by one of the 3 sisters. In the courtyard, our goal is to get to Lady D's bedroom. In order to do so, we need to play the piano, juke some hooded women out, and once we finally make it up to her bedroom, we grab a very important key. And then, oh shoot. Frick, y'all didn't tell me Lady D was— Stop!
And now you even try to steal.
Please stop. After she shoves us through a few floors, we have to pass through a bloody basement and fight again another daughter. I'm just gonna sum it up. For all these daughter fights, including the next one, I cannot stress you enough how easy it is, especially with me doing practices. Like, it's nothing, trust me. Eventually, we unlock the sniper rifle and get the final mask. On our way back to the front door, we get jumped by Lady D, but no worries, because once we open up those doors, we get to fight her. For phase 1, I really just shot her with literally everything I had and made sure to aim in her weak spots because, like I said once again in Resident Evil 7, I was kind of speedrunning. That's how I play these games if I'm playing them not for the first time. For phase 2, I used my runaway strat to defeat her very easily. But now we pick up one of Ethan's daughter's body parts and move on to the next. The next one can be found in the house run by dolls and puppets. You have to go through saw-like traps, and after the psychological torture that we endure, we get to fight this boss, which is literally just running around the entire time fighting a doll. Eventually, we kill her and obtain the next body piece. The second one can be found in a swamp area, but when Ethan takes the flask, he says something out loud, literally alerting every enemy. So we have to get the boat key and escape the starting place, just for us to run into this thing. To get past this thing, we have to do some tight maneuvering around the entire time, which sucks. Oh! Whoa! Oh! No! No! Oh no! I'm gonna crash out. No. That did not just happen. Yes, I died in Resident Evil 8. Gosh, that hurts to say. The final game of the series. This sent us back hours. Not even that. Days. Weeks. If you're wondering why this challenge took so long, this is part of the reason. Literally, days later, and after beating all the bosses again, doing all the puzzles and getting through all the annoying parts, we finally make it back to Resident Evil 8 where I left off. Oh, I'm not dying to this thing again. After the tight and very risky water maneuvers, we get to fight this thing, finally. Honestly, I was speedrunning it, but still, it wasn't really that bad. Just whenever he does his little acid things, make sure you're underneath a roof and make sure to use all the explosives that you have to help you out. Moving on from that terrible boss, we go to the stronghold and defeat a ton of bosses and run through every enemy that I see. Going to the Heisenberg factory, he has a little talk with us, and it ends with us getting shoved down into the depths of the factory. Now we have to escape. After all the molds and robots, we get an opportunity to finally fight him, so we take it. This boss isn't bad at all. It pretty much holds our hand the entire time. I don't know. What do you guys want me to say? It's the easiest boss inside this entire game. After that, you know what comes. Lady Maria kills Ethan, and we play as Chris, and then once that's done, we wake up as Ethan and fight the final fight. Where are you at?
Die!
There you are!
Die!
I don't even know why I'm acting like this. It's not even that bad. Like, I'm gonna win anyways. It doesn't matter. Boom! 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 Do we have anything else? We can place down the mines. Frick! Oh, yes! Wait! As long as we don't do anything stupid, we're good. We're good. We're good. Ah! Attack! Why isn't it? Okay. I'm sorry. I was tripping out. Apparently, I had to equip my gun. Wait, did we actually do it? Hold on. Oh my gosh, Ethan, shoot. Shoot. This is what happens whenever you don't upgrade the shotgun, bro. It's freaking slow as frick. Shoot, please. Thank you. We did it. We did it. Oh my god. We have made it to the end of the video.
Would you guys be interested in a little bit of FNAF or no? Because I'm not good at FNAF. So if I'm doing a FNAF challenge, y'all are gonna watch me suck. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. You guys mean a lot to me, by the way. Thank you so much for all the support. It's kind of hard to like project it. My mic thing's about to fall off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.